Money in a Minute. Today we are going to discuss, should you quit your job? There is a fad, I believe, that's going on right now with so many people who are choosing to follow their passions and follow their dreams with the idea that you have to quit your job in order to do so. Now, I'm all for becoming an entrepreneur and being your own boss. However, I do believe that some things do require logic. They do require a plan that is accompanied by actionable steps to actually get to your end goal. Now, just because everyone is quitting their job doesn't mean that you have to too. The first thing I want to address is the fact that if you do love working 9 to 5, that is okay. That is your prerogative. Make sure that whatever it is that you're doing it because it's something that you love, something that you feel connected to. I had this feeling when I first started Your Life and Finance that should I become an entrepreneur? Should I be working for myself? But I never really cared for that, or I never really necessarily gave that much thought until I actually started Your Life and Finance, and then I got into the space and so there were so many other people who were quitting their jobs and working for themselves. Now, while I may not necessarily want to work for myself, I do believe that I can find my dream job in the 9 to 5 realm, so to speak. So while I'm not working where I would want to be right now, I am taking actionable steps to get there. Now, with my side hustle, I do believe that that's something that maybe possibly could become something that's larger than life. It could take a life of its own, and then maybe I might feel later on that I would like to quit my job, but that's not just something I want to do just because everyone else is doing it. I know that I mentioned here before, outside of Your Life and Finance and my 9 to 5, I am also a small business owner. I do have a tax office, and while I love serving others and having these things that give back to the community, I still enjoy getting up, going to work. Do I love my job? No. But am I just gonna up and quit? No. Now, one of the main reasons I feel like you should give it more thought whether or not you should quit your job is because if you are following your passion, or if you're thinking of taking your side hustle to full time, your 9 to 5 can serve as the initial investor into your business. You can be using the money that you're making from your 9 to 5 to invest it in your business. You can also take some of the skills that you're learning and also invest it there. There's also some jobs that will pay for you to go to like conferences and things of that nature. Take advantage of what you can from your 9 to 5 so that you can take all of that, soak it all up, and then apply it to your passion or your side hustle that you eventually want to make your main job. Another thing is to create an exit plan. I don't know why it's glorified to kind of just up and quit, and if you have to sleep on your friend's couch, it's like exciting. I don't know, but being broke is just not fun to me, and it's something that I just don't find funny. Create an exit plan. Find out what it would take for you financially to be on your own and set up a reserve. What expenses are you going to have? What kind of money are you going to have to put out? And can you afford to do that? If you quit your job and then you take your side hustle full time, do you have savings? How are you going to then sustain yourself? These are things that you should be thinking about. And lastly, you want to ensure that the business that you are pursuing is something that is viable and will be able to sustain the life that you want. Is it something that's actually going to make money, or should it remain a passion project? Is it something that you can actually take from a side hustle to create it as a full-time job? Do what works best for you, but also don't just jump in feet first without an idea of what direction you're going or without a plan. Do the research, do the work. Being an entrepreneur is hard, and it's something that I admire when I find and meet other people who are doing it, because you technically have to have control of your day, of what you're doing. You don't have anyone over you, which is well and good. That's great, but just make sure that that's something that you can actually take on. Some of you may be watching this and feel like sometimes you have to take risk in order for things to work out, and I am a firm believer that without no risk, there is no reward. But I also believe in calculated risk, and I still believe in having a plan B and having some backup funds, having those reserves, so that if you ever fall on hard times, or even if your business needs it, you have something there to assist you. As a small business owner, I have dipped into my savings account multiple times to make sure that my business has been able to, be marketed and be advertised. So I understand the financial burden that comes with owning something. So without my 9 to 5, I really wouldn't be able to keep my tax office open, because let's be honest, some businesses you open and right off the bat, they are not money makers. And I just believe in being realistic and trying to assess what could go wrong and then having something set up to combat that. Clearly, you can't assess every wrong thing, but having just a little bit of reserve, just something sitting there in the event that you need it honestly can't hurt. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Stay tuned for the next Money Matters episode next Monday. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.